moving on, I need thingies. Fine. There, enjoy your modules. And make your seeds. I want to do that. To throw the seeds in. Also, that to get the actual Tuuphra in on a consistent basis and power it. And throw those Tuuphra at it. Yay! Water. Water is necessary on this day. I can get rid of all of this. Oh, hey, by the way, since we're setting up the Tuuphra here, I will actually be able to do Corlax at some point. Let's say we'll have the Tuuphra. Yeah, entity missing for construction is the thingy. Where are my slaughterhouses? Yeah, bring that back. Start making these again. It moves! It is alive! And we'll fill this with Tuuphra, ideally, to use as modules. That is actually pretty fast. 0.11 is actually a pretty decent output. That is actually pretty decent by comparison to a lot of the other stuff. For one building. For one building, that's pretty decent. This produces 1.6. Oh god, that's 31 buildings of this recipe of Tuuphra that one botanical nursery can supply. Wow. It uses 0.4, so you end up with like 2.87. Someone said fast? Well, granted, like, what recipe am I using here? I'm using the 6th Tuuphra recipe, so yeah, it should be faster than a lot of the other stuff that came before it. What am I spending here? I'm spending manure. That is what I'm spending here. Like, let's not forget that this is at least somewhat expensive thanks to manure existing. If only Vrauk had manure as an output, that would be glorious. Manure was balanced, but it's still not, like, straight up water, right? So, ash is pretty free. Coarse fraction is pretty free. Soil is pretty free. Biomass is pretty free. Water is water. But I mean, it's still not 0 amounts of work to set up manure. You're still depending upon the output of another creature that also needs to be fed something. So it's like, well, the only recipe that I can think of right now is the basic Og recipe that doesn't have inputs that are even slightly problematic, and then it's still a pretty big build because it's the basic recipe of the most basic creature. As in, it's not something like this Vrauk cocoons recipe that I can just do with inputs from nothing, right? It's like, if I could set up just this from Vrauk's cocoons, but instead of Vrauk's cocoons, it's manure, that would be fine. And that would be Og's through the very first Og recipe Like, I'm pretty sure is like that. Don't know about the others. What about, let's actually look at manure for a brief second here. So we could convert Relesia. Sure. Yeah, no. Or use Ulrichs by converting Relesia seeds. Maybe. Maybe. Food's not free for Ulrichs. Og biomass moss was my initial thought. Og biomass moss. Because that's pretty simple. Everything else involves food. Muckmo is Phalagi Relesia. I could swing that. I could swing that on a 6 manure output. If it's just the Relesia and Phalagi. Because Relesia has water hydrogen before it starts requiring manure. Maybe the fertilizer. I can't believe that I'm actually saying this, but actually the fertilizer is sounding a lot more useful. Yeah, I'm thinking Muckmo with the Relesia seed Phalagi recipe would probably might be my ultimate go-to on the manure. Because I'm thinking about this at scale, right? Like the full separate distributed build that's going to put things onto the train network and all that good stuff. That's what I'm thinking about. So I'm thinking on like this level of scale, at this level of scale, not at this level of scale. And at this level of scale, getting 10 manure is a bit of a build. Getting all of the other stuff is fine. The space requirement is the manure. And Mark II buildings would make it faster. Yes, faster, but same ingredient cost. It's only productivity that makes the ingredient cost change, or using better recipes over time. The Mark II buildings, yes, have more module slots that will reduce the level of the actual physical space that the Tuuphra require, less plantations for the equivalent output, but it's still just ignoring that this is 200 here, just outside of that. If I'm looking for, let's say I'm looking for about 20 Tuuphra out, or even let's just say 15, let's say a yellow belt. Let's say 15 of a yellow belt-ish. That's still 7 manure. So I have to have a build of 7 manure, and that in and of itself is a pretty decent amount of space, even if it's been fixed. Even if it's been improved, it's great that it's been improved, but it's still something that's a little bit more complex that I have to build. That's a few more steps involved with manure than just straight up biomass, soil, coarse fraction, which I can get all of this together all at the same time. So that's my point is, it's just the complexity of the build is greater when using manure recipes at this point. Can get it from nothing, but it's just the complexity of the build. There's still that extra set of things that you need to do, and you need to deal with the water barrels at that point as well. So yeah, yay, water barrels. Let's deal with water barrels constantly with the water barrels. It sucks that they only stack to 10. Like, why? Why do they only stack to 10? I know exactly why they only stack to 10. It's because of the vanilla uh fluid wagons. It's those dang fluid wagons. That's why the stack size of the fluid uh, barrels is only 10. Because if they stacked any higher than that, it becomes just massively better to just barrel your fluids. It is already better to barrel your fluids than to use fluid wagons. By the way, in case you didn't know, even at stack size 10, it's still better to barrel your fluid wagons than barrel your fluids and avoid using the fluid wagons than it is to actually use the fluid wagons. Breathe. Must breathe. All right, how are we looking here? We have got more sufficient quantities of the Tuuphra moving. How are we looking here? We've got sea sponges. Yay, sea sponges. Do your thing. Yes, the mod could increase the stack size, but again, that would affect the balance of the with fluid wagons and trains. Technically, if you want to go through the effort of doing barreling of all fluids and loading them onto trains and then unloading and unbarreling at the destination, that would vastly improve your throughput via trains of fluids just by converting them to solids. So that's all it is, right? That's what fluid barrels do, is it converts a fluid to a solid. They hold 50 units each. Interesting. I'm pretty sure that people have had less trouble using the barrels. Increased fluid wagon size. See, this is why I have mods, right? I have a fluid wagon of 75k. And I also have a regular cargo wagon of 80 units. So I have a fluid wagon that's 75k and I have a wagon that's 80. Apparently the fluid wagon still does hold more than what a barreled container can hold. But either way, it actually becomes a little bit less of a headache because then you don't have to worry about like single unit, like fractional units of fluid being left in a fluid wagon. By the way, for those of you who actually use, for some strange reason, the logistics train network, it is immensely more valuable to you and easier to just barrel your fluids than to attempt to use LTN with fluid wagons. Just by the way, you might run into a fewer headaches by barreling your fluids than using fluid wagons with LTN. And for the record, to anyone who says just get good with LTN is missing the point entirely. You shouldn't have to get good at something. Like, the moment you revert to that argument, you have lost the argument. Just frankly. Because it should be designed in such a way so that it's frankly apparent to a person on how to use the thing, and you shouldn't have that many avenues of potential failure. And if I'm not mistaken, did like the Factorio developers even originally intend for circuit networks to exist in the first place? Because I'm pretty sure that that was a feature that was pretty much just forced upon them by people, by the player base. Like I'm pretty sure that circuit networks were not originally intended to be part of Factorio, period. So it's obviously not actually meant to be something that is required for the playing of the game and the completion of the game. Anyway, so there's sponges sorta doing their thing. Oh right, I need to. Yeah, that would help. That would help to make it move, right? That would help a little bit, or maybe one of these deals. One of these deals would sort of help a little bit, I think. I can even get rid of that completely, and yeah, yeah, that will be fun. All right, what am I doing? Making Tuuphra ever so slowly, apparently, to use as modules for a bigger, better build that will be exactly this. Uh, I need to like actually plan, I think, for something. How's the Rennea doing? Can I officially do this with the Rennea now? Have I made a non-zero quantity? I have made a non-zero quantity of Rennea. Unfortunately, I still need additional Rennea. Where's all the codices? I need circuit twos. Oh boy. We need additional circuit twos in my life. That's a few more circuit twos. That is a few additional circuit twos. So the circuit logic has been there from the beginning. All right. It's still not required to complete the game. And that is a very purposeful decision by the developers to make it not required to actually complete the game. And you know what? There's this lovely alternative called Train Supply Manager that exists. That if you don't want to have to fiddle about as much as you have to with LTN, just use Train Supply Manager. It's a pretty good mod. It works. It works. It's better slightly. It is a bit better. That is not what I wanted. Oops. Where's the... Oh, right. The stuff auto-trashed. Right. Is that even able to load fast enough? Probably not. Nope. Oh, that poor little blue inserter. Here, have a stack inserter. Maybe that'll be fast enough. Yep, that's fast enough. Nope, there is absolutely no requirement to do anything with circuits to complete a vanilla game. You do not need to do so. You do not need to do any sort of circuit connection shenaniganry involving fluids and tanks in the base game. It is not required at all. There, you can do a very sufficient level of control over the production of your fluids just using pumps. Regular old pumps. for fluid prioritization. And quite frankly, with the balance of the vanilla game, there are not really that many ways that you would over-consume of a like heavy oil versus other stuff. Anyway, you need way more petroleum gas than you need light oil, than you need heavy oil overall in the vanilla base game. And even then, there is this thing called coal liquefaction that actually I think gives you more heavy. Is that, or there's something gives more heavy at some point. I forget what. It has options. This is a game about options, right? But anyway, so the original point was you shouldn't have to learn all the ways that circuits work. Wanting to learn for the sake of learning is one thing all on its own. That's a completely separate thing. If you really do want to learn this, go ahead. You don't have to. You don't have to, and that's the wonderful thing. And no one should be forcing anyone to learn how to do anything. Besides what's necessary to complete the game, you know. Where's my... I used to have a thingy that had the tiles so I could fix this, but apparently that went away for those cables, I think. There we go. That should repair that. At some point. Alright, what was I doing? I was doing the thing to get the additional Rennea cycling so I could have an additional unit of Rennea, because you actually need at least 2 cycles. How many cycles do I actually need of the Rennea to have happen here? Let's check. Oh, right. I think I need to build buildings for Rennea as well. That would help. So Rennea. Yeah, those glorious things. I do not have the Mark II of it, but yeah. Would probably help if I had a few buildings to actually make the Rennea. Let's request my ultra-fast inserters again. I got rid of them a little bit ago for extra inventory slots. Yes, bring me the glorious stuff, my minions. My wonderful minions. Speaking of minions, yesterday in Animal Crossing, I had 3 villagers singing at the same time in the plaza to music that I had playing on a jukebox near to the plaza. And I had some instruments as well, and had a 4th villager playing the drums to the music. It was glorious. So yes, sing, my minions, sing! Sing for me! Anyway, that posting that in Catherine of Sky's Animal Crossing section of her Discord sort of set up the video that went live later that day. Yeah, she set up a concert area as well after seeing that. Anyway, I'm just like waiting here for stuff to get transferred, and yeah, that's a much better thing. What? Wow, that is a lot of soil. That is a lot of soil. 900 units of soil per building. Wow. Alrighty then. That is a bit. I'm apparently waiting on the transfer of circuits. What has happened to my circuit ones? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Circuit ones. Well, they are flowing. I think I just happen to need more than what I'm producing at the moment. Just a few more. What is eating circuits this way? The answer should be stuff I don't need right now. Oh, right. Duh. Those things. Those things that I scaled today. Huh. Gee, I wonder what's consuming more circuits right now. Might have to do with the lab instruments that you scaled up a little bit ago. That explains things. That explains a lot of things. Alright, have you done 2 cycles? You have done 2 cycles! Glorious. We have 2 cycles of Rennea. This needs... the Rennea seeds need 5. Huzzah! We need to go through 4 more cycles at minimum on the Rennea. That is a machine. Hello, machine. Get out of my way. Hello, Rennea. Machine. What do I need to feed you? Good. Things I have. Things I have in abundance. Yay. Power. So we're good, right? Oh boy. Yeah. We need a few more Rennea cycles to happen. 1 goes in there, those go in there. Yay. I should have realized this sooner. So Rennea are a thing. They are a what are they? Very useful petals are what Rennea are. They have very useful petals. Yes, the Mark II nurseries are faster, but you may or may not have noticed a slight issue with having sufficient quantities of stuff. Of Circuit 2s. Fine, you want it to move faster? Where's my... Here, there's thingies. Thingies! Have some, have stuff. I still haven't made that stupid... By the way, every time I, like, steal things from machines... What the hell? Wood... Oh. I get it. I understand this concept of buzzsawing a log. This is the log with the tree rings on it, and you're buzzsawing it. I understand. There's some circuit 2s. 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 Hello, infantrymen. You have arrived for the final half hour of the stream. Congratulations. You have made it while I am live. Do I have the Aurum Mark IIs available yet? No. Nope. I have Mark III Releasias available. Hey, I have Mark III Botanical Nurseries available. As if, like, no, I don't have these things. I do not have these things. I could probably swing the super alloy. Oddly, I could probably swing super alloy right now. What was it again that I needed for this? Besides, yeah, just stuff. So, going up to cobalt oxide, getting vanadium, and then helium. Like, there's only 3 things here that I don't have. Effectively, the fuel rods I have. I have fuel rods, so I have the ability to make the fuel rods. Do not store that many. Here, go faster. Sure, go marginally faster. Go twice as fast. We are zooming. We are zooming on this 200-second craft time recipe from 200 seconds to 100 seconds. Yeah! It's glorious! We still need it to cycle 2 more times. It still needs to go 2 more times. How's the Tuuphra looking? Better. Tuuphra's looking better. How about the sponges? It's moving. It's moving. We have 9. But again, scale, this only has 4 module slots per building, so I have enough modules now for another sea sponge thing. And then these will eat the sprouts in the end. These eat the sprouts, so it's basically like eating the seeds for these cotton guts. And then basic food, oh boy. Oh boy, so the basic food. Cotton gut basic food. Here we go. Well, that's simple. The only thing I don't have on my network there is the tree seeds. Where's the tree seeds? Tree seeds. Oh, right, that's... Tree seeds. Because for some reason, the tree seeds are made in assembling machines. More steam. More steam is required. Also, water. Water is required for you. Hey, we have water. Glorious water! Glorious water. You don't need seeds, but you need everything else. I have everything else. Output into doohickey, and then steam. Glorious steam. I should be carrying around some of these vanilla boilers, which also need water. 15. Yeah, one of these beautiful things. Give me all of the biomass. Biomass. Wherefore art thou? Biomass. I think it's actually Yeah, there you are. Biomass. Bring me my biomass. We've got food. We've got basic food for cotton guts. Progress. Progress towards cotton guts. Hey, we've done the thing. Ever so slight progress. Betting. So, do you remember way back when where I set up a little bit of production of bedding? I remember a very long time ago when I set up a little bit of a production of this bedding. So I think it's about time to do this thing called request the bedding. Can I not put another thing here above? I can build up. Why am I not building up? Why have I yet to build up? Yeah, thing. I don't know about getting one more in there. Most likely can. Alright, you. You are bedding! Glorious, beautiful, wonderful bedding! Somewhere on this list. Bring me all of your beautiful, glorious, wonderful bedding. Approximately 200 units of it.